Hey, it's Mandy, and I know it's hot outside, but Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler is bringing the holiday cheer with Christmas in July. You know I go to Hand and Stone to relax, recharge, and just take a little time for me. Whether it's a massage or a facial, it's the gift I give myself, and I always leave feeling better. And this month, they are making it easy to share that feeling. During their Christmas in July event, guests can purchase two services at member pricing. That's right, even if you're not a member. And if you are a member, you'll get $10 off service gift cards. So whether you're shopping for someone else or grabbing a little self care for yourself, now is the time. Visit handandstonetyler.com or stop by in person at the Cumberland Shopping Center and take advantage of Christmas in July before it's gone. Welcome to the Celebrating Women podcast, hosted by Mandee Montana, a podcast that celebrates women, their stories, their struggles, and ability to overcome. Conversations that celebrate their gifts, their talents, and courage. It's the Celebrating Women podcast, presented by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler, Texas. With over 20 massage therapists and 6 estheticians certified and trained in multiple protocols, you can get an affordable massage or facial located right here in the East Texas area. Book your appointment today. Stop by the spa in the Cumberland Shopping Center in Tyler or online at handandstonetyler.com. Welcome back to the Celebrating Women podcast. I am Mandee Montana, and it's good to be with you this week. So, in case you missed it, we just passed the midway point of 2025. And as that happened, one of the success mentors that I follow, Darren Hardy, mentioned, like, hey, we're halfway through the year. Have you hit your goals? Are you on track to hit your goals? And it kind of shook me. I don't know about you, but I have a tendency to revisit my goals in January, sometimes around my birthday in September. But, I hadn't really thought about the midway point. But man, it's a good time to recalibrate and reevaluate our goals, right? So it got me thinking, back in January, I had revisited a book that I love called The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. Don't let it scare you. It doesn't mean you absolutely have to wake up at 5 a.m., although that does help you get in some extra special morning time before the rest of the world wakes up. I will say it's a really great book. It's a great listen on Audible. It's a great read. It's kind of told in almost like a fable kind of way. So there's a lot of narrative. There's actually a love story, but principles of success are woven in throughout it. It starts off a little dark, but trust me, the light comes in really fast. So if you've started it and haven't finished it, let me just encourage you to go for it. And as I was revisiting this book back in January, I came across Robin Sharma has a couple of courses available, and I've been on his email list for a long time. So I decided, 2025, I'm going to sign up for one of these courses, relatively low entry point. And I got a lot of value out of it. And I thought now would be a great time for me to look back on the work that I did and to kind of evaluate where I've been for the last 6 months. And I thought, why the heck not share this, right? This could be gold for someone else who's kind of like halfway through the year going, 2025 is not looking like I thought it was going to, right? Some of us are feeling that way. I know I definitely am. So July, not just hot and busy. Great, powerful checkpoint for us to revisit. One of the things that I love about the 5 a.m. Club is that Robin Sharma breaks down his morning practice into 4 pieces, but these are good, like just 4 categories for life to think about. It's a great framework. He talks about mindset, which you're probably familiar with, mindset, heartset, healthset, and soulset. So think about that for a minute. Not just like what are we thinking about and affirmations, but like what does our heart truly want? What are we feeling? Are we taking care of our body? Because that has a huge effect on our heart and mind. And what are we doing for ourselves spiritually? Whatever you practice, right? So I've been thinking through these areas of my life a lot since I revisited this book and got distracted with the day-to-day throughout this year. And so now I was like, okay, this is a good time to revisit it because I'm kind of I'm in a shift again. I may have mentioned this in a previous podcast, but I went back to work in December in a new role as a technology consultant. And over the last 6 months, I have been learning about technology and learning about myself and learning that I'm probably not the most talented technology consultant out there. Have you ever put yourself through a challenging role like that? It is humbling and it is a great learning experience. And challenges often force us to grow, right? So, through this process, I have learned a lot about myself. I've made some really great relationships. I'm so thankful for that. The team that I've been working with have been incredibly encouraging, supportive, showed enormous belief in my potential. And I just realized that the day to day of what it is not something that I felt like I could do at a high level for a long period of time. And so I'm shifting gears again. I'll be joining a new team in August, and I'll have to share more about that on a future podcast. But in the meantime, I'm revisiting my goals. I've got a couple of weeks of time to sort of recalibrate and reevaluate and to take care of myself. And so I'm looking back at some of my goals from January, and one of them was to take care of myself physically by getting up and going to early morning workouts on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I can tell you, I have stuck with that. There have been weeks where I might have missed a workout or two or where I was traveling, but for the most part, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5:45 a.m., I am in the gym, lifting weights, moving my body, and taking care of myself. Now, I was ambitious in January and thought on Tuesdays and Thursdays I might make it to yoga at 5:30 a.m. That did not happen. I also thought that maybe I could incorporate a HIIT workout in the afternoon, walking or jogging with a weighted vest. That happened occasionally. So, as I'm looking back at these goals and evaluating, what progress I've made, and, these are in the health set category, of course, I've got some room to grow. But I can say I'm proud of myself for being consistent with the weightlifting on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So, where are some areas that maybe you were looking at in January that you thought, I'm going to go get this, I'm going to go crush this, but maybe you've got some room to grow through the rest of the year? So I've got some things I can grow into. I'd like to get those second workouts in and definitely get my Tuesday and Thursday mornings in gear. I just need a better plan. I think when I have a better plan and I have some accountability, I get it done. So that's the goal, putting it out there. You guys can hold me accountable to this now, I guess. I've definitely grown in my mental resilience and clarity. So my mindset has improved for sure. I think my heart set and my soul set are definitely improving. I didn't write down a lot of goals for those. I had more work goals in mind whenever I was looking through this back in January. And I think one of the things I need to notice, become aware of, is that maybe I should be setting some more personal goals for myself. Where can I recalibrate outside of my health set, but maybe things that I enjoy that are fun? A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the book, The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. And she talks about we're really supported spiritually when we're having fun. And I don't think I had any goals for fun in my original goals in January of 2025. So I think I'm going to add that in as I am reevaluating my goals. And I've got this note that's just jumping out at me off the page that I saw that I wrote down in January. And it says the gateway to self-love is self-care. Nurture yourself, feed your mind, body, heart, and spirit. That will increase your income and your impact. And I love that message. And that's really like Robin Sharma. I'm telling you, read the book. You'll love it. It's what he's all about. So heartset. This is interesting. Where do we need to soften or forgive? Emotional honesty. Ooh, this could be a touchy-feely one, right? What patterns or relationships have been heavy this year? Have you experienced that? I know I have in some areas of my life. Not going to get too candid about that. Some things need to be kept private in my world, but I have definitely experienced some of that. And if you have, I can just say that I see you and I feel you. And I know how it bleeds over into the rest of your life. And it can be challenging at times. So we have to plan time for rest and relaxation and reconnection with ourselves to get through some of that, because relationships are a huge impact on our life. And that kind of feeds into this idea of where can we give ourselves more compassion And maybe where can we give compassion to others? Those heavy relationships, maybe we need to look at it through another lens. Maybe we need to flex that empathy muscle a little bit, try to see the world through their eyes as best we can. What's been healing through those heavy relationships? What might still be tender? I know I've got a couple of tender spots there that I need to work on. This is a journal prompt for you if you want to use one for heartset, which I think is a great idea. What's one feeling you've avoided that might hold the key to your next breakthrough? What's one feeling you've avoided that might hold the key to your next breakthrough? Ooh, I think I need to journal on that one. That's a good one. All right, healthset. So I mentioned that this is something that I had a lot of goals around in January, and I felt like I've, done an okay job. I definitely could have done better. I had some big goals and I've hit some of them, but not hit all of them. So a question to ask for yourself, kind of what I'm asking myself now too, is has your routine been serving you or draining you? Are we filling our cup with our routine, or are we pouring it out and emptying it? It's a good thing to think about at this time of year, right? Back to school is going to be here before we know it. Like, you're probably already starting to think about it and plan for it. I know that mindset for me, yeah, I don't have kids, but I still think about it and I still have this mental shift. And maybe it's because my birthday falls in September. And so fall feels new to me. It's a pattern that I've been in for most of my life, or all of my life, really. So I think about these things. How can I shift my routine that time of year, and how will it serve me better? You can acknowledge the seasonal shift, and not just the actual season, like we are getting ready, we're in the heat of summer now, but fall is right around the corner, right? But also like our seasonal shifts in our life, like perimenopause, which I've been dealing with not so gracefully, doing my best, and just awareness of what that's like physically, mentally, emotionally. My body's different. My hormones are different. My world is just different. So, focusing on vitality and not punishment, focusing on abundance, not lack, what is giving me energy and strength. I love being in the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday with my girls. It's a special time in the morning, not just for me physically, but also just like having that accountability and that shared goal that we're all working on ourselves and meeting each other where we're at. It's big. So here's another journal prompt for you. We had one for heartset, so here's one for healthset. What would honoring your body actually look like for the rest of the year? Journal on that one. It could be a lot of things, right? It could be drinking more water. It could be practicing some biohacking. I've got some great supplements that I use. It could be moving your body just a little bit more each day, taking the stairs one day a week. What would honoring your body actually look like for the rest of this year? It can be micro steps. You don't have to go all out. I told you I had those big goals in January and I didn't hit all of them, but I did hit some of them, right? So that is progress. All right, moving on. We've talked about mindset, heartset, healthset, soulset. Ooh, this one's going to hit. Are you living aligned with your deeper desires? The quiet whispers. What have you been ignoring or postponing? I know what it is for me. Oh, so many things. But a big one is flexing my creative muscle outside of the podcast. There are things that I want to do that are just solely for me, that are just strictly like a creative practice that I haven't done in years. And I miss it and I need to do it. And the quiet whisper is there. The actual invitation from other people has been there, and I just have ignored it. So I will tell you later what that is once I do it. I'm not putting it out there just yet. Are your actions aligning with your values? Ooh, this is a good one. This is something that I think about on a regular basis. I journal about it, and I'm getting better at it. Are your actions aligning with your values? You've got to know what your values are first, right? So that's where the journaling has come in for me. Core values. I can tell you one of them right off the top is loyalty. It's a big one for me. So shifting gears like I'm doing right now, it's tough because relationships are super important to me. Super important, and loyalty is a pretty high value for me. It's different for everybody. may not be your highest value. I don't know that it's my highest, but it's pretty up there for me. Here's another one. Are you creating space for stillness, joy, creativity, and faith? So we talked a little bit about that earlier, right? The idea of fun. Maybe I need to have some fun goals. I definitely have been better about having stillness goals. Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa is our sponsor, but it's in part because I make stillness a priority for myself by going there monthly and getting a massage. Although I have to tell you, I just was like a model for them in the lobby for their new skincare line and had Chelsea give me a facial. It's like an oxygenating facial. OMG. I literally had like bath bubbles on my face. It felt amazing. And my skin has been shining and glowing ever since. I loved it. I will do it again. You should definitely check it out. And I love the new skincare line Image. It's amazing. I went ahead and got the daily serum and moisturizer because I love the way it smells, I love the way it feels, and I love the way my skin looks. So sorry for the hashtag ad in the middle of the show, but yes, you should definitely check that out at Hand and Stone. So creating space for stillness, joy, creativity, faith, making time to journal, making time to pray, making time to worship with family and friends. These are things that we need to do. Looking for the joy, right? Pretty good at gratitude journaling, but I might need to start adding in where I find joy. I think that would be a good goal for me. And creativity, I mentioned it earlier. Again, I need to set some creativity goals for myself. Things that I can do that are just for me, that allow me to be creative and experience joy through that, because I certainly do. So a journal prompt for soulset. What's your soul asking for right now? And how can you say yes to it, even in small ways? I like that one. What's your soul asking for right now? And how can you say yes to it, even in small ways? So this time of year, we mentioned it, halfway point. It's a good time for this reflection, recalibration, reevaluating the goals, looking at your values, looking back at my notes from January. I love Robin Sharma's teachings. And again, many of these come from the 5 a.m. Club, but he's got other books too. He says, clarity precedes mastery. And I think this idea of reevaluating goals here halfway through the year, that's exactly what we're looking for, is clarity. And that's going to precede mastery and help us get to another level. So what are your top 5 most important goals for the latter half of 2025? That's the last thing I want to ask. And maybe look at it through the lens of mindset, heartset, healthset, soulset. Maybe have a goal in each of those areas. And then one that just really speaks to you, that just jumps out, right? We are built to transform, he says. Our brain has neuroplasticity, which means we're meant to grow. Stick with the process. I love this quote from him. He says, everything is hard at first, messy in the middle, and beautiful at the end. Focus on the daily. Days are our life in miniature. Celebrate the micro wins, the small daily improvements. Halfway through the year, let's recalibrate, reevaluate, transform, and finish 2025 strong.
The Celebrating Women podcast wants to hear from you. Email us a voice message to celebratingwomenpodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear your story or the story of an incredible woman you know. Become part of the conversation on social media. Facebook.com/Celebrating Women Podcast. On Instagram, search Celebrating Women Podcast. The Celebrating Women podcast has been presented by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler, Texas. Book your appointment today. Stop by the spa in Cumberland Shopping Center or online at handandstonetyler.com. Support the show for as little as $3 per month at celebratingwomenpodcast.buzzsprout.com or visit our show notes. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to the Celebrating Women podcast.